Hello, welcome to Joss's Jumpstart. Today we're going to be giving you some specific techniques for sales professionals and the self-employed and how to prioritize your work. So let's pretend that you're already in your area and you're already motivated, you're already psyched up for the day, okay? Let's talk about how you can pre-qualify your work. So number one, let's pretend that you're knocking doors and you're going maybe business to business, or you're going into a neighborhood, or maybe you're making phone calls. First thing you need to do is pre-qualify the people that you're calling. So if you're going business to business, make sure the business you're going to that they have a need and that they're going to be able to be an ideal candidate. So let's say if you're knocking doors for insurance, okay? Do you want to go to apartment complexes versus homes? Do you want to go to larger homes or starter homes? And whatever it is for your product or your service, just be sure and identify where the ideal location is. Because the number one reason why successful people don't succeed, you can be motivated, have the best script, but if you don't have pre-qualified candidates to talk to, it doesn't matter how motivated you are, how successful you feel you are, because you're not going to do very well because you're not talking to pre-qualified people. So, number one thing that you got to do is pre-qualify. So, when we're knocking doors, I like to find like an ideal neighborhood and then make sure I go there. And honestly, that's the next part that I do is, this is the kind of demographic or the neighborhood that's going to be ideal for my product or my service. And I can instantly pick up on a neighborhood and see this is exactly the kind of neighborhood that I have. Successful sales professionals, they know what the pre-qualifications are for an ideal customer. And if you're in the financial services, maybe the ideal customer is somebody that's between this age range to this age range. Maybe they make a certain dollar amount, this dollar amount to that dollar amount. Whatever it is, have clearly identified what the ideal customer looks like, what they look like on paper, not physically obviously, but just like whatever their demographics are, whatever that is. So have clearly identified what your ideal customer looks like, their neighborhood looks like, whatever it is. So have that pre-qualified and figured out. Number two is home or contact time. If you can, always identify when is the best time to get a hold of them. So when I'm doing fairs or events, I will always write down when is the best time to get a hold of them and the best way. And I never want like their work number. I ask for their cell phone number. Like, hey, what's your cell phone number? So I want to call them personally and directly. And, hey, when's the best time to call? There's nothing more frustrating for someone that's self-employed or a sales professional, and you're calling them at the wrong time, and you're thinking in your head, oh, they don't want to buy from me, or I go and knock on the door and nobody's home. So find the ideal time to get a hold of people, and then go during that time. So when I used to knock doors, or as I knock doors, as I go to my neighborhood, I will never just knock on every single door down the street. I will always identify who's home first. So somebody is outside in their yard, I'll go talk to them first. That's my first priority. Number two is who has a garage door open. Because a garage door open is a sign that somebody's home. And if there's nobody outside, no garage doors are open, then who has a car in the driveway, or like a minivan? Like, okay, hey, minivan, bikes in the front yard, that's clearly that somebody's home. Don't waste time knocking on doors, nobody's home. Don't waste time making phone calls when all you're gonna get is a bunch of voicemail. Ask people when is going to be the best time to get a hold of you. You will double, if not quadruple, your efficiency by trying to figure out when's the best time and identify who's home. Okay? So number three is best option. I have noticed many sales reps, they in the beginning, they honestly don't know what the best option is. There's two homes right next to each other, and they're like, I ask them, which door should we go knock on first? And they say, I don't know. I guess go on that one. And then I have to show them, like, okay, let's look at the homes and let's see which one is going to be our best option. Okay, that one has a minivan. That one has a big pickup truck. Okay, depending on your product or your service, Do you have a better chance of closing the minivan family or the truck family? And there's no right or wrong answer, but you have to identify that for yourself. Or maybe the yard. What does the yard look like? Okay, if there's maybe a third house down and that house has a Buick LeSabre in there, the yard is crystal clean and they have that little colored ball in their yard. Those are the perfect signs of somebody that's retired. So that's not a bad thing, but you have to be able to look at the house and identify which house should I start with first. Who do I have the best option of closing and getting the yes? And then I can snowball it to the next house and then snowball it back over here or whatever order is that you decide to do. But success leaves trails. And so identify which is the best option. So by doing these same things we talked about today, prioritize your work by pre-qualifying, going to a good neighborhood that you know is going to be successful. And once you're in the neighborhood, maybe figure out who's home by looking at people outside, looking for garage doors that are open, looking for cars in the driveway. And then number 3, do the best option, okay? All things being equal, who should I talk to first? Because successful sales professionals, they can look at a situation and they can identify which is a lower hanging fruit, which is going to be the easier prospect to bring onto your team, and then use that as a bandwagon to bring in all the other people. I wish you lots of success in selling, and I look forward to giving you guys more training and tips to help you succeed in selling. Thanks.